What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Broman. We actually have a brand new plot leak for the Eternals that's unlike the two that have come before it. Not only does it line up nicely with the most recent set photos and of course the footage shown at CCXP, but it also goes a long way in answering two pertinent questions, one of which, how can the Eternals span 7,000 years and make sense from a character's point of view, but more importantly, what Thanos really did when he snapped, how it sets up mutants in the MCU and ties in Celestials at that. Today we're going to break the whole thing down and issue the normal spoiler warning, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We're just a week away from our first Infinity Saga box set giveaway. If you want to be entered to win this or either of the PlayStation 4 Pros we're giving away here at the channel, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So quickly, the normal spoiler warning, or in case you're new to the channel, today's leak is actually coming from 4chan, the most anonymous of all sources. So spoiler warning in that don't let this ruin your experience for the Eternals. Of course, always take this, as is anything not officially coming from Marvel, with a grain of salt, but in some cases, these leaks end up being right on the money, and in that event, you've been warned. Let's dive right in. The Eternals are created by the Celestials to defend humanity from the Deviants. After a vicious battle, they defeat and exile the Deviants, then give up their powers and memories to live among the humans by choice. And this is an interesting twist from the two plot leaks we had heard before it. In the first one, it was actually going to be Druig and Insider. In the second, it's Druig with the help of Sprite, or rather under Sprite's control. But either way, before they pointed towards an Insider, some sort of antagonist inside the group, as pulling the strings. And here it seems that the Eternals are going to give up their memories willingly to live among the humans by choice. That says a lot about them, and it goes further into who may be the antagonists in this film later in this plot leak. It continues by saying, in the present, Dane Whitman, Kit Harington's character, discovers the ruins of the Eternal Citadel and activates a beacon that awakens them. He is attacked by the Deviants and rescued by Cersei, that's Gemma Chan's character. This is also a slight deviation, pun intended, from what we had heard in the other two plot leaks about Dane Whitman somehow spanning this amount of time. It seems like he's just a normal character in modern times already. Either way, the huge takeaway being is we saw this exact scene in the raw footage shown at CCXP where all of the Eternals are reuniting at said Citadel. This is even further reinforced by the next point made in this plot leak. The Eternals reunite and learn that the Deviants are searching for the Tome of the Gods. Dane has the map, so the Eternals must protect him and count on his help to find it first. The Deviants were freed by a rogue Eternal named Gilgamesh, Don Lee. However, Cersei and Dane learn Gilgamesh is being mind-controlled by Druig, that's Barry Koenig's character, who is a true traitor alongside Thena, that's Angelina Jolie. Thena secretly had a child with the leader of the Deviants, Crow, but the humans murdered him. She hates them ever since and wants to reach the Tome of the Gods to reclaim the power of the Celestials to destroy them. Cersei is divided between Thane and her old lover Icarus, Richard Madden, but ultimately chooses Dane. Icarus has a close friendship with Makkari, that's Lauren Ridolph's character. And let's stop here for a second because there is a ton to unpack there. So it does name Druig as a villain in the movie alongside Thena, Angelina Jolie's character, which is a twist I don't think a lot of us saw coming. Her motivation is very clear for hating the humans there, as well as a crossover with the Deviants, and we're wondering if this isn't the area, some of the scenes that we may get to see the early childhood of Thanos. It's rumored that we're going to get to see some of his immediate family members, if not a young Thanos himself, based on an industry insider report from just last week that there are two excellent opportunities, or should I say scenes rather, for this to take place in the Eternals. And while we're going to have to wait and see if they make good on this, its inclusion in this plot leak is super interesting, as well as the division between Cersei and Icarus over Dane. That's been in every single plot leak so far. It's 3 for 3. That there's going to be some sort of love triangle, and ultimately she'll side with Dane Whitman. Now going on, Kingo befriends Dane and teaches him how to fight. Ultimately, Dane becomes the Black Knight in the final battle. Sprite, that's Lee McHugh's character, befriends Gilgamesh as well and convinces him to rejoin the Eternals, but doesn't really explain if she breaks his mind control or how that's working. And I think this is an excellent place to point out that in the two previous iterations of the plot leak, Sprite was actually the one who helped trick them into becoming humans and forgetting their powers. It was something she wanted for herself based on a whole different element to the plot leak. That has gotten rid of this and said that they've all done it by choice race, which implies that they actually respect the humans and yearned for their sort of life that they all chose to live amongst them in the first place. It definitely casts the Eternals in a different light, setting apart those like Angelina Jolie, whose character Thena, if correctly implied by this plot leak, will actually have disdain for the humans. It continues by saying that Thena will try to convince Phastos, that's Brian Henry's character, to join her and punish the humans for their prejudice, but that he will refuse ultimately because he still has hope for humanity. In the end, the Celestials awaken and possess the leader of the Eternals, Ajax. They decide that humanity must be destroyed because they became too powerful due to the mutations awakened by Thanos' snap. The Eternals stand against them, Ajax sacrifices herself to stop them, and Icarus becomes their new leader. Now this is super interesting because it's not implying when this takes place, but if they know about the mutations that are awakened by Thanos' snap, then it must be sometime in the present, maybe even after the events of Avengers Endgame, although we were all led to believe that this is a prequel set 7,000 years in the past, leading up to modern times, but still a prequel of sorts. Obviously, leading off Phase 4, it would make the most sense for them to cast this totally in the present, even after Avengers Endgame, but if that's the case, it's going to be super interesting where they choose to have this battle, on what plane of existence, given the awareness of the world now after the double snap. What's even more interesting and so obvious about this is that the snap is going to awaken what is probably the X gene and awaken mutants in the MCU. And we of course have covered this a couple of times in other videos here at the channel and lately, that recently Marvel went ahead and explained why there were so many superheroes on Earth per capita as compared to the rest of the universe, given how long the Marvel universe has been running in the comics and how there's so many superheroes on Earth. Their explainer was that a long time ago a Celestial died here on Earth and that the blood seeped into the soil and enriched them. Now if there's an obvious battle between the Eternals and the Celestials here on Earth, and some of them died, their blood would of course seed the soil, but this is implying that that's not the case, that the Celestials created the human with this gene inherent already, and that it was Thanos' first snap here on Earth, erasing half of the universe, that awakened that gene, maybe somewhere along the lines of Gamma or otherwise, but that the gene was already set there and has been in place the whole time, and the no death of a Celestial, no Celestial blood is responsible for seeding it. Now of course they don't have to explain right now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe anything about the imbalance of superheroes on Earth, well, because there isn't an imbalance. There's only a certain number of them, and as Vision said, they've grown commensurate to the amount of threats that they faced, but still a finite number, almost in balance with as many superheroes as we've seen from other worlds. That way in the MCU it's different than the comics, it's not so world-centric. Either way, a lot of people guessed that that most recent retcon by Marvel Comics, the blood of a Celestial, would be responsible for why there were so many superpowered humans, or where the X gene would come from in the first place. But it looks as though, if this plot leak is correct, that Marvel Studios is making the poignant decision to have it seeded by the Celestials in the first place. Guys, let me know what you think about all of this, how crazy this is, what this plot leak would mean for the MCU. Are you excited about these plot leaks in general and where this movie is going in the general direction? Had you seen this plot leak before? Are you going to compare it to some of the others? I'll make sure to link both of them down in the descriptions so you guys can compare and contrast. I think the second out of the three plot leaks was the most interesting, but only because it was probably the most well written. Either way, if you want to be skeptical, you don't need a reason to be skeptical of any of these 4chan leaks, although this third one had some very probable truths, especially given what we found out about the movie from official sources. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments in its entirety, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Now, while we're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros here at the channel, the next of which is at the 550,000 subscriber mark, we're actually 1 week away from the giveaway of the first Infinity Saga limited edition box set. Now, these got sold out from the original production and pre-sale. There were 4,000 of them sold to the public. They've been listed on eBay for ridiculous prices for resale. We got our hands on 2 here at the channel. We're giving away one on New Year's Eve, regardless of the subscriber count. All you have to do to be entered to win is hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video. Because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. That of course enters you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like the 2 PlayStation 4 Pros we're giving away, the next of which is at the 550,000 subscriber mark, which we are we're headlong into and could easily hit by this month's end or next. Now, if you missed any of the previous winners for the PlayStation 4 Pros, they're all announced in video. The last 2 winners at the 500,000 mark, that's marked in the video title. All you got to do is go back through the channel a couple, 3 weeks, you'll find it there. Guys, if you're traveling for the holiday season, for Christmas, the New Year's, or any other reason, please be safe. Thanks for checking out my channel, and if you've been with me since the earliest part of this year, thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping grow what is one of the fastest fan Marvel communities on the internet by far. It means the world to me, and I cannot thank you enough. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Guys, thanks for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.